and displacement. Because of climatic vulnerabilities, and there are some unequal displacement. And because of that unequal displacement of your population, we cannot, planners cannot actually plan. And the influx of economic and political migrants. Now, these are more academic in talks, but these are to be kept in mind for demographic dividend. Now, I will come gradually how it will connect our business. Should we waste time on conventional tools to give demographic dividend? By that, what we mean is the formal channel of the government channels, or the donor fund, or international organizations who are working on gaining the demographic dividend, or accelerating job creations by specialized funded programs, or sustaining productivity of the growth. The growth has taken place, huge amount of growth. I mean, this productivity growth, but how we should sustain. We have a conventional pattern. So, should we waste time on this conventional tools? I didn't say the answer. My answer is no, because we have been doing it for decades. Right? I didn't give the answer, but my answer is relatively no, maybe a moderate. Okay. It's not. Well, World Economic Forum in its model said to achieve demographic dividend is, to educate. So, education is a sector, employ, and then empower. 3 E's. Okay. So, we will connect them later on. Bridging the gap of digital divide, passage for youth to migrate following 20th century. Well, when you talk about demographic dividend, it is an obvious thing that the issue of digital divide will come. What is that digital divide? It's the gap between demographics and regions that have access to modern information and communication technology and those with no or restricted access. So we can see that, a remote place in say, Guatemala and a place in Japan. So see the difference, huge. So the access to information is very vital. That means access to internet is very vital. And to achieve that, bridging that gap will require the demographic dividend to overcome. And that is how youth are migrating to the developed countries. Because of only foreigners. There are other factors, but not only, this is the main factor. That's why I say that bridging the gap of digital divide, and this is why actually one of the major reasons the youth are migrating to developed countries. And when demographic dividend would not contribute to accelerated growth, countries tend to seek foreign remittances. This is obvious. Countries will try to get their remittances from this demographic dividend. Because within the internal dynamics of the economy, when the growth is not foreseen, sustained, then countries, Bangladesh's economy, Nigerian economy, most developing countries' economy are very much rooted with the remittance. Export is another issue, but remittance is very high. Bangladesh today had a $30 billion incoming remittance, which is probably $10 billion than last year, which is a quite a surprising information to a lot of economists, because this $10 billion can offset some $10 billion maybe as envisaged or forecasted loss from the export. This $10 billion came from nowhere, came from the economy, who actually migrated, and the reason for them is to have a digital divide. And then foreign remittance from diaspora could not be more than a limited ceiling. Okay? And this receiving the state employees restricted measures. Usually, foreign remittance calls for restrictive measures from the country where they live. But still, they send the money following the legal rules and parameters, and that actually is a solution for enhanced remittance. But diaspora who are doing job and diaspora who are doing business, huge difference. Diaspora who are doing business, they can contribute to developing country economy immensely. But the reality that our countries have experienced are, the majority share of the remittance that Bangladesh or Nigeria receives are from those diaspora who are doing job. Businesses, but why we cannot connect them? We can see later how we can connect them. Why diaspora businesses of Bangladesh or diaspora businesses of Nigeria cannot connect? If I had time, I could show that countries like China, India, Brazil, Malaysia, Indonesia, their diaspora, Turkey, their diaspora are the mainstay of their economy, because they are not only sending remittance, which are actually meant for their parents, but again, the diaspora businesses are connecting their home countries immensely in their businesses, which are not happening much, both in Bangladesh and Nigeria. So isn't a wonderful synergy? Although not in the positive curve, but that is the reality. But we can explain through the demographic dividend channel, and we can explain from the channel of bridging the digital gap. And demographic dividend for a steady and sustainable growth in suburban economies. Now, mark it carefully. What is the trend?